Hello friends, how are you? Vladimir here, and this is the weekly forecast for the week of 12th of April 2015. Last week was interesting. We saw some moves, and the main thing was once again the strength of the dollar versus the majors like the pound dollar or the euro dollar, which we will cover today, as it's important to understand where we are and what we can expect. So basically, let's start with analyzing what we are going to trade most likely this week. I would like to start with the dollar Canadian, which is right now still on a ranging cycle or a correcting cycle to the previous rally. This one, the entire rally, was for something like 45 candles, which means for 80 something candles we might be on a corrective cycle, and from my point of view we're on a range with some kind of pressure to the downside, and that's where I think it's about to come in, especially if we look on the weekly chart. I still think every small rally is an opportunity to go for a sell. The way I see that, later or sooner we should get it something like here before we'll try and get it to the upside once again. And from my point of view, after Friday, while we got some bearish news for this pair, bullish to the Canadian currency, we start to see some kind of, I don't know, a triangle or a channel developing or whatever it is. Anyway, we can definitely say that as long as these highs are going down, the pressure remains bearish. And from my point of view, that's exactly what we should be looking to trade. Sell opportunities while we will remain in this situation, 3 dropping highs, 1, 2, 3. While it remains this way, we might get some 4 high and then drop down. But while this situation remains, I remain bearish. And how far we could expect it to go? Well, first of all, definitely we should split it, because the current wave is a double wave correction, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 1 hour chart, you will see that better. Here we go, right? And it was broken down and starts developing kind of a momentum. So basically, every retrace or anything like that, it's bearish pressure again while we remain below the trend line and the last highs. How deep? Well, the middle right here should be the first place we could expect it. Then if you break it down, definitely the last important support, which is right on this place. And if it breaks that down, then as I said, I expected to make this some kind of a cycle to the downside. Then I would expect some kind of double move down to the bearish side, which means 122, or at least getting closer to that. All that while we remain below the levels as explained. Now to the majors, pound dollar and euro dollar. Let's start with the euro dollar. Looking on the monthly chart, this pair is dancing around its extreme. Could it create one more bottom? The answer is yes, of course, because extreme could be current place, lower bit, but every drop from here, while we are creating a weekly divergence, would be an opportunity to call it a bottom and expect for deeper correction, because the previous two were very, very, very small. Take a look on the daily chart. Okay, that was the first correction. It was in a ranging mode. That's the second correction, which is a triangle mode. Okay, so we could expect here maybe a double bottom, maybe one more low to be created, which could go until this meeting point, which could be 102, 101. And definitely since then, from there, every time we'll get this divergence developing. What we want to see is first wave of rally, and then double wave correction down, and then we are going to buy. Basically, that's the best way to join. So what we want to see is from here or lower, it doesn't matter how it turns around. We want it to stop, create a rally like it created here. Best, of course, it would be also in double move. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then every correction down will be opportunity to buy versus the low to be created. Now, why I think the bottom is very soon? Again, weekly chart, is coming to its end based on this extreme, right? You see that? We can see that that's the sizes of the drops. That's the length of the drops so far. And basically it goes pretty much the same time. It's a bit bigger, but the same time, right? This entire cycle is almost duplicating itself, right? And basically this trend line, here we go, right, is coming very, 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 very close. So what's about to happen from here? And the weekly chart is forming a divergence. Here or lower, it's about to hit and rally. And that's where we want to be on the bullish side. Does it mean we can still expect it and play on the bearish side? Well, from my point of view, only if the last low will be broken. Then we could then try to sell rallies. Not yet. Because the rally up could begin any moment. Okay, and that's why I don't think it's really worth try and get a risk on a sell. Maybe only again on the short term if the last low will be broken. Same about the pound dollar, which I think we should be looking for buy opportunities. Why? That's a monthly chart, completed bend to bend. Now it's doing a bit more. That has a lot of monster support on the way. Weekly chart is creating a monster divergence. We are creating fourth bottom, right? See that? 1, 2, it's 3, and we're creating number 4, which could be final. And once it hits, that's continuing divergence with 4 buttons. We could expect some big retrace. Now, pound dollar did break last low, sorry. So basically for this one, sell rallies could be not bad an opportunity. Now take a look. If we connect the bottoms here, we could expect it to drop at least 100, 150 more points down. So if we go on lower time frames, like the 4-hour chart or 1-hour chart, every double wave correction we get is opportunity to go for a sell. Okay, is a chance to go for a sell. Again, aiming first of all these meeting points on the daily chart, first of all. And if it breaks it down, then, well, we have a support only like 143, 142 zone, which would be ideal because we have bend to bend move. And starting from here and lower, you can expect some big retrace to take place, and it will. So once again, for this pair, I think sell rallies on the short term could be not bad opportunity. But we have also one thing to pay attention to. It might create suddenly a false break. It does break down here. We could expect it to whoop, some bullish candle suddenly, creating a false break, a monster divergence, and a sudden boom to the upside right from here. Could that happen? The answer is yes. And we have to keep it in mind. No one guarantees it will, but we have to keep it in mind, as that's exactly how false breaks could happen. And since it's just the beginning of the week, it could start the week this way. And that's what once again, we have to keep it in mind. Now, why the dollar suddenly gains some momentum again? Because there are, well, more and more Fed members that try to convince and tell that raising rates on June this year is the correct time to start with this journey. But other members not agree so much. So the closer we go to June, more and more and more and more volatility is expected. And that could be a good thing. A lot of momentum might be here. Taking a look on the euro pound, I think that this pair is about to create a buy. Maybe already did, because it's moving inside kind of triangle here right now. And it's tend to bounce here. Maybe we'll get one last push. Maybe we get one last push to make this wave duplicating something like 071.90, 071.70 or so, then a rally. But basically, if we get above this ending wedge, in the 1-hour chart, you will see it's coming like a wedge pattern, right? So if we get above it and gaining momentum, then small time frame double wave correction could provide us a buy opportunity. So from my point of view, while this low holds, every new low could be just a nice buy opportunity. Until where? First of all, these highs, but I would expect it to go higher, like 0.75 at the end of the rally. New Zealandian dollar, another interesting pair, which still remains under some kind of a bullish pressure. I still think watching on a weekly chart and daily chart combo, later or sooner, it should find the reason to rally to 0.78 or higher before dropping down. And I remain bullish for this one as long as the last bottom holds. Basically, on the 4-hour chart, we can see that after this wave, we get now some kind of triangle correction. So what I want to happen is getting it out of this one, break above it. It holds also the trend line. So while we remain in this mode, I remain bullish. And I think only for buy opportunity. Break above the triangle would bring a great call. And I think same should happen with the Aussie dollar, which, while it will remain above the trend line and the last bottom, I think it's now on a corrective wave. Why? Simply because after the entire wave down, on a weekly chart it could be seen well, and after the entire week drop down, it starts to create false breaks, which means we can go now in a range, or we can go now from here, or even one more bottom, which also would be acceptable, we might go in double wave rally up now. So I think only buys. The best way to join for Aussie dollar would be, of course, if ideally we will get some kind of a pattern here, it would be great chance to go buy, or simply long it as it is, protecting the last bottom, which is small risk compared to the potential profit, which could first of all be this one, okay? And after that could be, as I said, on a weekly chart, double wave correction, which could take longer, but still, compared to the risk, the reward could turn to be amazing. Aussie Kiwi, I think if we get break above this small triangle, we are about to get this double wave correction up. So basically, while this support 101.40 holds, look only for buy opportunities. I believe we are going to 103 or higher. And so far, that's all on my list. Now, there is one more pair I'm watching. That's Euro against the Aussie. Why I watch for that? Because it looks like it's going to create triple wave down. So starting from the bottom of the Bollinger and bit lower, which could create bend to bend, monster bend to bend, I would be looking for opportunities to get in a buy here, because from here we might get a very nice retrace of something like 300-400 points to the upside correction. I wanted to get completed because right now it's getting into one wave, so I want to see that start to get some false break, rounding bottom like it created like here, okay, rounding bottom and start correction, which after that I think it will be ideal buy opportunity. So what we need technically, as we start to get to bottoms here, 1, 2, we need one more bottom after that correction and one more bottom. After that we will be looking for buy opportunity. It's a bit early, so I'll update it of course on daily forecast, but keep it in mind, it looks like a very nice opportunity to come. And I would like to end up with the Nasdaq, which I am looking to get into a sell opportunity. It's making this double move, which is perfect. That's the zone, 4420 up to 4450. After that, I want this line to get broken, and then it should be a call for a sell. And if I read the chart correct, after that, we might get into a serious drop coming. And now it's too early to judge, but technically it has all the reasons. Now, let's see if the market will agree with us. That's all for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. I wish you wonderful trading and with great opportunities. I'll see you again on Tuesday with the daily forecast. It's yours, Vladimir.